Okay, let's go. Let's do this. We are now racing here at the finale of the Michelin MX Nationals powered by Milwaukee. This is race 3 of the weekend for the Syntol 85 races. Yesterday in the big wheel, Billy Askew, who was already secured the championship in the last round, took the first race win. Josh Vail took the second race win, and he was absolutely pumped with that. He's been pushing all year to push Billy all the way, and took the race win. So that's the big wheels, and the small wheels, that's still rumbling on. So here we go. Gate drop.
Something embarrassing. These kids are getting over all the jumps.
And you wasn't.
Well, my arsehole was twinging on a lot of them. And I'm like watching the 85s like, oh God, what's wrong with me?
What it's like to be young. It's another blinding hole shot for Hayden Statt, number 48 in the small wheel category. Didn't see Askew in there anyway. He might be buried in the pack, but Hayden, we've said it many times before, once he gets it dialed, his power to weight ratio is, as I say, it's like you might as well have a small bag of
his starts have been really good though, pretty much all year.
But Josh Vail, is that Vail in second? Looks like it. There's Jamie Keith, number 99. Is Askew rocking the... maybe, is Billy already... Surely they haven't moved him up a class already for the second part of the day.
I don't know, maybe.
No, because they would have done that from yesterday onwards, because he'd already won the title.
It looks like he's just got a really bad start. I don't know.
Well, maybe he picked up an injury yesterday or something. Anyway, soon enough, when they come round on the first lap, we'll know
where they are.
Who is where. Blake Ward Clarke, by the way, rider number 1 in the small wheel category. He's got a 13-point lead over Elfie Geddes Green in the championship. Hayden Statt is another 2 points back. Okay. So the small wheel, there's only 15 points between 3 riders.
Yeah, there's Askew, is it?
Yeah, he's made light work, yeah. Running that darker kit. We're so used to seeing him.
Is he in a white kit normally, or like
some sort of orange, but he's running the new 2023 Alpine Star kit. This will be good then, because Josh Vail has definitely got some confidence now he's taken a race win off.
Whoa! Oh, that's going to mix stuff up a little bit. So Askew just tipping the bike over in that corner. Looks like he's okay. He has lost a peak though. Moving over on Hayden Statt. Hayden Statt's going to pick off another place, but don't know how long that will last. Hayden, obviously young, got a lot of learning to do. Long time to get his stuff together. He is a very young lad. And we're going to watch the first big wheel rider, Josh Vail. He's going to hit the big tabletop. And look at that, makes it look super easy. I thought I was going to fold in half every day, every time I was casing that yesterday.
This will be interesting with the overalls. Obviously, I don't know where Billy Askew at this point is where he's going to get back up to, but Josh Vail was in the driving seat here. He took a second in a race win yesterday. If he keeps it going, he's the first Planet Moto first lap leader, so a point in the bag for that.
He's been pretty good with that.
But for the time being, we've got he's got a point there. So the Planet Moto First Lap Leader Award, basically, so that every race other than the pros, the first rider over the line takes a point.
And we'll be able to give that championship.
We'll be able to give that
today,
championship today, because by my reckoning, but we've got to get through it all. Billy Askew, although he didn't get the First Lap Leader Award
this time,
he's got pretty much an unassailable lead, but we need to double check the points later, but I'm pretty certain that
nice bit of Spanish practice.
Yeah, that Billy Askew will be taking that. But that was a point on the board there for Josh Vail on the SJP Moto machine. There's Askew now working his way, lost his peak.
Yeah, we've got bullet head. We have got a bullet head out there.
That's happened several times to him this year.
Is that a good thing to say?
Well, it has. I'm only stating fact.
Yeah. I think, the helmets now are designed to release the peak.
Yeah.
Because if you don't want it digging in and snap, that's what causes a lot of neck injuries, is actually the peak on the helmet. So the helmet manufacturers now as well, with Fly, Alpine Star, Fox, the peak actually releases, and this is sort of a new thing that's coming into helmet technology. So if you see a rider riding with a bullet head like that, it's there's a purpose to it.
You can see, obviously, all the earth that's been shifted around. You can see the space available in the background as well to work with. Josh running his Team GB graphics, because he went and raced the World Junior Championship. I think he was relatively pleased with his performance. It went all right. And, of course, we have the coupe, the Hold on, let me get this right. Coupe d'Alavenere. Still didn't get it right, did I?
Coupe d'Alavenere.
Just call
That's
it the
the
Coupe.
kids' destination.
Just call it the Coupe.
Is it kids' destination?
Because honestly, like, I'm getting tongue-tied, and I said I need caffeine to function and say anything. Anyway, that's happening over in Belgium, where it always does. Dave Garland is now the team manager. Fair play, Dave.
Dave loves motor.
Dave
lives and breathes motocross, that man, doesn't he?
Yeah, Dave took over from me. I did it from 1 year, but of commitments with Team Green and all other stuff that we do here. So then Dave took over from me with great effect, and he's been doing it since. So he's now made his team selection for, it's basically like the under-21 Motocross of Nations, basically. It's a great event, a brilliant event.
I've never been to it. It's one that I'd like to tick off.
It's literally about an hour and a half from Calais.
Yeah.
Really easy to get
I want to tick that off, and Swarty Cross as well.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So Dave has announced his team. We're going to be getting Dave Garland in here later on, just before the pro race, to talk about it, to talk about his team selection.
And his son's racing in the pros as well. Liam's out there as well. Liam's been out of professional racing for a while. Looks like he's enjoying it. I know he had a good ride at Fox Hills, didn't he, last week on the Yamaha. So back on his 450 for this weekend. So it'd be good to see Liam, 24 on a whole shot Kawasaki, spinning some laps as well.
There's Charlie Richmond. He looks good on the Matt Gardner racing machine. Great little thing yesterday with Charlie. Elliot Spencer does a lot of the social media and stuff for the MX Nationals. We stuck a camera in his face for a little Instagram clip, asking him what we thought the track was like. And he basically just went, well, I can't repeat what he said. It's something to do with dog's bits.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Okay.
So, yeah.
We're a bit early for that.
A bit early for that. He loves the track. So many kids have just said, this is unreal. They love a jump.
Yeah,
They've got plenty to choose from.
They're not worried, are they? What's the worst that can happen to them? They have a day off school. You know, it's all good. They're just going to full send everything. There is Charlie Richmond stretching over that. These jumps they're going to be a bit of a stretch for these bikes. I mean, I know they were for me. These kids are obviously carrying a lot more corner speed than I do, especially the front guys. Anyway, probably all of them. Billy Askew still there in fourth, not really making any headway. He's a little bit quicker than the two guys in front of him. We've got Charlie Richmond and Jake Walker just in front of him, but Josh Vail, he's sort of gone at the minute. 2 seconds.
Wow, he runs out the inside. Billy Askew makes a pass, does he? Of course, without a helmet peak, Billy is getting Roos straight onto the goggles as well.
Oh, there's no deflection.
Made light work there, didn't he? Just straight up the inside of Charlie Richmond as they go over that massive tabletop. Oh, it's just an amazing. I've also spoke to a couple of the photographers. They are literally walking around with a smile from ear to ear. Like, God, there's so many good places you can take shots here. Josh Vail, he is on form. He has set the quickest lap. He would love to end this series with an overall victory over Billy Askew, fair and square.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice. You can see how much effort Josh Vail's put into himself the last couple of years. If you watched it last year, you know, he's a bit of a chubbier kid. I know he's grown a little bit.
Yeah.
He's definitely worked on himself a lot.
Yeah. Oh, so he's absolutely, got himself fit and shape. Of course, he's part of the Jude Morris Racing Foundation setup. So great things that they're doing there. Mark Morris and Lucy Morris, you know, and big plans for next year with supporting more riders to go and race potentially EMX. But on top of that, you know, Callum, you've played a big part of it as well, so kudos to you. Raising loads of funds for the air ambulance.
I tried my best.
Oh, mate, you've done exceptional.
We tried our best with the company. Unfortunately, the company didn't survive. We folded it to start something in America. Oh, and a bit of a mistake there from Charlie Richmond, as we were just talking about. But it didn't survive. But we did donate a lot of money to the Jude Morris Foundation. And I personally love what Mark's doing. Yeah. He's putting all his energy into that. He's going to need something, you know. He needs something to focus himself on. It's the worst thing that could ever happen to a man. And we've just got to take a hat off to him, and we've got to all support him.
Yeah, absolutely. You work out of that. It's just 272. That was Henry Fenner, I think that was. Yeah Henry Fenner. So. Well, I was just going to say, actually, the small wheel category. Remember, these are Open 85. So what we've got is we've got two classes mixed together. We've got the big wheels and the small wheels. In the small wheels, Hayden Statt is leading the way, so he's pulling some points on Blake Ward Clarke. Ward Clarke was 15 points ahead of him going into this race. So he's pulling back 3, so he's got the gap down to 12. You're still looking, basically, Hayden Statt and Elfie Getters-Green at this point are both probably looking for a bit of bad luck to fall upon Blake Ward Clarke. So, yeah, I can see that. Obviously, doing live streaming, we get loads of people. I try to get sending us messages, shout outs, and trying to put us off.
That was funny.
That was funny.
I mean, well, it just looks like me, doesn't it?
It does look like you. That was Mel Pocock. Mel Pocock is watching from at home. Mel, thanks for tuning in. With your comeback ride last week at Fox Hill.
Unbelievable.
I think, come on, you've got to start considering coming back out to these, shouldn't you?
Mel, I'm trying to convince him to put a vets class on for us. Don't worry about it. I'm on it. I'm putting the pressure on.
I'm a vet. He's only just turned 30.
I want a class for all the team managers, Barry and everyone. I want to get Barry out.
I'd be into that. Oh no, Princey. No, maybe I wouldn't have a fighting chance.
Neil can still go well, can't he? He's still got it, hasn't he?
I'd still like to see myself. I reckon I could go top 3 in a team manager's race.
I think you'd be all right. Let's get him out there. Let's do it. An industry race.
Well, we did have an industry race one year. Yeah, that was good actually. I remember being out there with Mark Chamberlain. Mark Chamberlain pulled a whole shot, and I sat behind him for a lap thinking, I'll just sit here. He was loose. He was basically like a deranged orangutan.
The thing is, though, a lot of these guys don't really ride a lot anymore, do they? But they've still got speed in their head. And putting that, what you know in your head, into an old body doesn't always work.
So, maybe that's something for the future. But right now, talking of future, seamless link, Josh Vail is going to be a star of the future, as is Billy Askew, Jamie Walker. That you are looking at, probably, like we said, 5, let's give it like 7-10 years' time. These guys, fingers crossed, are going to be at the front runners of the pro class.
If we did that industry race, what we should do, make a little switch. We should get some 85 kids to commentate on it in here, switch stuff up a little bit.
Can you imagine the abuse that we get?
It'd be savage, wouldn't it?
I don't mind that. So as you can see, light rain is starting to come down. Hopefully it'll only stay like that. Oh, listen, it would do the track favours actually, save us getting water down as it starts to dry.
You get a nice even spread when it rains, don't you? It's nice.
Just enough to keep the key areas where it's a bit more clay and hard packed from the dust kicking up. Because either way you look at it, we're still in drought. I mean, we still haven't had any serious rain for so long. That's also what made the track build more difficult. Yeah. Because it was just so crumbly and loose. There was no moisture in the dirt to bind it all together. So, again, what they've done in a short amount of time is incredible. Under the circumstances, the weather that we've had, time restrictions, all those things, it's really just an incredible effort.
I don't know how they've... it's mind-blowing, really, isn't it?
It is. It's like the kind of DIY SOS of motocross track builds. It's just like all hands on pump. Get it done.
Right. So as we go right now, I'm just going to split the classes here. Bear with me, and I'll run through the small wheels first. So as they're sitting down to 10th, Hayden Statt leading the way over Blake Ward Clarke. Blake's 20 seconds back though. Finley Pickering in 3rd. Lucas Moncrief is in 4th. 5th place is Mason Jones. 6th, we've got Elvis Tony. He's a wild card. 7th, we've got Alfie Getters-Green. 8th, we've got Stanley Sibbett. 9th is Danny Flood. And rounding out the top 10, Ryan Clift.
Yeah, big wheels. Josh Vail leading the way, as you've seen. Jake Walker putting a good one together in 2nd. Then it's Billy Askew for 3rd, but he won the championship at Hawkstone, but they still want to win the overall. Charlie Richmond for 4th. Jamie Keefe, number 184, is in 5th. Then it's Chester Hyde, the rider you are seeing on screen. He is currently in 6th, ahead of Drew Stock. Hayden Statt is the leading small wheel rider. Then it's Blake Ward Clarke. Then it's George Parker. He is the next big wheel rider, ahead of Ollie Bubb. So there you go. Yeah, they're all kind of mixed up here. Obviously, you pretty much always see the big wheel riders at the front. It's always interesting to see how high up the leading small wheel will get. Yeah. That's a pretty good ride there, actually, for Hayden Statt.
Yeah,
He's breaking the top 10.
It is a good ride. It makes a lot of difference having the bigger wheels in the
big
bike.
Time.
Especially on a circuit like this, even more so. Like the divide gets bigger.
And, you know, on average, they're always a year or two older, the big wheel riders as well, a bit stronger. But the big wheels, even though there's not much in it, only a few inches,
big difference. Yeah.
They make so much difference when it comes to carrying corner speed.
And rolling through bumps and things like that.
So,
I mean, I know KTM's run the same swinging arm now, big wheel through to small wheel, but I remember like back in my days on 85s, I used to ride a KX. And when I was on small wheel, we had the big wheel swinging arm in, just to make the bike a little bit longer, and that helped. Yeah,
obviously, like the KX, for example, the small wheel is not only is it a shorter swinging arm, it's an actual shorter frame as well.
Yeah.
So it does make a difference. Obviously, same power plant, but the chassis makes
it is different. Yeah, for sure.
So there is. I haven't seen much of him. Jake Walker. Always action-packed. I like watching Jake. He's pretty animated on a bike. He definitely lets it hang out.
Yeah.
It's not too far away, is he, from Josh Vail?
No, I think, well, there's 4. I think it might, well, that's just as they come through. He could make something happen. I think Vail's just been really comfortable, though, out front in this one. He's had sort of, I wouldn't say an easy race, but he's controlled it pretty much since, you know, Askew sort of fell off. So not had too much pressure. Maybe he could wind it up if he needs to.
I think he's in control. The way he came around that first corner, look, he had a little look behind. He's gauging.
You can see there's energy. He's still got energy, hasn't he? He's still good.
He can wind it up if Jake starts getting closer. Ready for a certainly a 125. Arguably, you could say looks like he.
Yeah, he could ride. He could be on one now.
So I'm sure he'll be moving up to, well, like I said, who knows, 125, maybe 250. I'm hearing. I don't know if it's set in stone. I heard a rumour that, which you should never believe, that potentially Billy Askew might be going straight to a 250, not even bothering with a 125 next year, but let's see if that actually happens. Charlie Heyman, who was obviously was going to be in the race coming up next, the MXY2 125, he wrapped that up at Hawkstone.
Yeah.
He's gone straight into the expert class, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. He took a race win yesterday.
Yeah, he did.
But he's on a 252 stroke. But more about him later. He's going to be coming out later.
Yeah, I think he was just a bit tiring from second moto. Bigger bike, a lot more going on, faster riders, but perfect for him. He needs to start, you know, getting there, and it's all about putting himself on the world stage eventually. I think for Charlie, he's definitely got potential for that.
Well, it's already been announced. So Charlie is going to be riding for a new team next year. But as we said, when we get to the expert race, we'll talk about him later. Right now, let's focus on these guys, these little 85 rippers. Coming through, there is Walker doing his best to chase down. But to me, looking at Josh Vail on the SJP Moto machine, he's in complete control here. You'll see, obviously, our equipment around the place because we've got a lot of machinery because it's a new track. It's taken a little while to bed in. So we've got various machinery scattered all around the place so we can get straight on it with track work in between each race. Hopefully, look, there's a nice shot. There's a checkered flag. So I'm going to go and do the first winner's circle with Josh Vail. We're going to go to an ad, and hopefully we'll be chatting to Josh in a moment. Okay, here we are with Josh Vail taking the first race win of today. You had a good day yesterday as well with a second and a race win. Billy was back in third on that one. Nice little gap going into the final race for the overall. How are you feeling? You had a problem with that one as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I had a rock stuck in my foot peg, and every time I went to put my foot back on the peg, it kept slipping off, so I went over the jumps and my legs kept coming off. But
you're still putting together a stellar season. Just talk us about this. Team GB, you was over there in, was it Finland, wasn't it? How did that go?
Better than I expected. Went out in my group and qualified second and third out of everyone. And then in the first race, I was in about 8th, and then I got wiped out. And then I came from 38th to 10th, and then a massive high side, and then I pulled in. And then in the second race, came from 16th to 7th, which was pretty solid.
I've got to say though, mate, what a season you've put together. Like, we've talked about it all year, how you've got yourself physically in shape. You're obviously shooting up, you're growing up. Is this going to be your last year on an 85, or is it too early to say?
It's too early to say. We're going to see at the end of the season, and we're hopefully trying to stay down and get one more year out of it.
Nice one, mate. Well done. Good luck in the second one. He's on track to potentially win the overall. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Commentators to curse. You'll be fine. Josh Vail, race winner of the first Syntol 85 Moto.
We're back in the room.
We are. Again, apologies. Yeah, these things genuinely happen. We don't know. We don't know. Didn't manage to find the culprit, but we suddenly come out of the truck to find a cable unplugged.
One of those things.
When it should have been. Anyway,
Freddie Gardner leading the way on the Matt Gardner KTM, looking good in all his red kit.
Yes, again a distinctive look for those guys. They run that same kit all the time. With the Thor brand and doing a good job. They are too. Josh Vail currently in second now. Josh has had a second and 2 firsts.
On for a good result then.
So, yeah. And can't quite see where, again, Billy Askew back and forth. So
not having the best of weekends, is he?
No. There's Drew Stock having a better start in this one.
Yep.
On the 3-flow Madison.
Mickey Stock 2-stroke breakers thing. That's his dad, isn't it?
Yeah, well, he's actually riding for a new team for this year. Not
doing their own thing anymore.
Oh, no, it's a little team that I started.
I like it.
Just as if I'm not doing enough.
Why are you doing that?
You're
just obsessed, aren't you, with making yourself more and more stressed?
More work. Yeah. No, that was... yeah, a little team that put together with Drew and Harrison Greenoff and Zane Stevens. So, yeah, looking to do more things with that next year, which will all be revealed in the off-season. So, yeah, here we go. He's out front. Here comes, is that Askew behind him, or is that Walker? That's Walker.
I don't think it was Walker, yeah.
I think that might be Billy Askew.
Let's have a little look.
Yeah, it's Billy Askew. Because there's Walker back and forth. So Askew now running the blue Alpine Star 2023
They look
kit.
cool, the new Alpine Star kits. They look awesome, don't they? They've sort of dialed it. But it's got black pants as well. Like.
Oh, he runs it straight in there. Oh, I thought he was going to...
That's really technical, that step up that they're getting over on at 85. It gets. I don't know whether you looked at it yesterday.
Yeah,
it was so chopped out. Did you see it?
Yeah.
The main line was just beat down, and to get over that on these little bikes is pretty tricky. These guys are going to go for it. I think, obviously, Askew's going to want to go have a little bit of a better ride than he had in the first moto of the day. So he's grinding right now on the back of Josh Vail. Josh Vail just leading the way right now. We're just going to do some comms checks in here and we'll be back in a second. Right, I'm back. And there we are, Askew working the 479 of Vail around the outside over the speed check jump there. Just a little bit braver into that, carried a bit more speed into the right-hand corner down there, over the tabletop, and then into the sand section, where they've just gone in there yesterday when I was riding. Pretty tricky. Like, you go literally from clay to sand, and it's quite sketchy. I felt like a little bit of, like, I wouldn't trust my front end. Coming into there, it was a little bit, yeah, it just added a little bit to it. Imagine on the smaller bikes, it's probably exaggerated a little bit more. We've got a rider pushing a wounded bike off the track. That is the 407 of Elvis Totney. Elvis Totney. Yeah, a poorly bike, just being wheeled off. Hopefully we can get a parent down there to help him. Sorry, I was reading his name off a small screen. Didn't quite get it right, but here we are. 4.79 of Josh Vail. Just going to try and pace match Billy Askew, I would say. Obviously, Askew's been, I would say, he has been the most dominant 85 big wheel rider of the year. Vail's just been a little bit behind him. You saw him in the interview after the first race today. He did win, and he said maybe he's going to do another year on 85. There's reasoning behind that. He is a big kid, though. So I suppose that's probably going to be decided on how much he grows and stuff. But he's probably going to want to leave the class being the dominant rider. You know, Billy is going to leave with confidence. He is the dominant 85 big wheel rider in the country right now. So, you know, that's important. That's important for confidence. It's important for everything. So next year, Josh Vail would want to fill Billy Askew's shoes and be that guy. And it looks like he's got close at the back end of the year as well. Billy Askew just chipping away. And there, oh yeah, look, Jake Walker up there as well. So Jake Walker is in this conversation as well on the Matt Gardner KTM. They're all pretty much going to be in shot. Yeah, there we are. You can see them all coming over the Dragon's back together. The three riders coming over the start straight. Real fast part of the track there. Nice, really choppy bumps. It's it got my wrists a few times yesterday going into that corner. And then into the rollers. Track's flowing really nice at the minute. The ground, I went for a little walk over there. It's literally like blue tack. You can just smush it together in your hands. It's so sticky. You'll see riders, they can snag their feet and everything because these ruts are real hard, sticky, you know, solid ruts. And then there we are, back into the first sand section of the circuit, over the sand mound, up the hill there. All three riders going for this one. There in the big wheels. Let me just have a little look at the small wheels positions. So Alfie Jedda's green leading the way, followed by Hayden Statt in second. Third, we've got Finley Pickering. Fourth is Blake Ward Clarke. Fifth is Lucas Moncrief. Sixth is Mason Jones. Seventh is Stanley Sibbett. Eighth is Danny Flood. Ninth is Charlie James. And rounding out the top 10, Lewis Jenkins. Top 10 in the big wheels. Billy Askew, obviously. Followed by Josh Vail and Jake Walker. Freddie Gardner there in fourth. Fifth is Charlie Richmond at the minute as well. Sixth is the 184 of Jamie Keefe. Seventh is Drew Stock. Eighth is Ollie Bubb. Ninth is Chester Hyde. And rounding out the top 10 is George Perkin. But here we are on screen, the 99 of Jake Walker, pushing every little bit of power out of that big wheel Gas 85. The three of these guys on another level right now. Freddie Gardner just a little bit off the pace with Charlie Richmond. Charlie Richmond 10 seconds back from these three guys at the minute. But Josh Vail not letting Askew get away from him. We're seeing a little bit of a different Josh Vail towards the end of the year, a little bit more confident. The 479 is starting to find his groove in the big wheel 85 class. And do you know what? I'd like him to move up in a way because I want more people on the, you know, in the youth class. But I see his reasons for wanting to stay down, and because he's going to be right at the sharp end of this big wheel 85 championship if he races it next year. That's a big jump for 85s to get over. If you're thinking now, why are they not getting all the way over that? That jump's massive. It really doesn't show the perspective of it on the camera. Back over the Dragon's back, right over the start straight again, flat out into this left-hand turn, back on the gas, and then they'll be into the roller section where they're going to pump the bike through there, try and keep the wheels down, keep the bike moving forward. Josh Vail doing an absolutely lovely job of that. God, if you'd have watched me through there yesterday, you'd have had a right laugh. I'm sure some of you did. And again, all three guys in the same camera shot. Askew doing everything he can on that GRT Impact KTM. All on a 2:34 the last time round. Billy Askew was a few tenths quicker though than Josh Vail. But Jake Walker was a little bit quicker than Josh, so that's just going to tighten up more and more at the front there. Hayden Statt still leading the small wheels, followed by Alfie Jeddies Green at the minute. Finley Pickering is there in third as well. That's the small wheels, just to keep you up to date with that. There's the 272 on screen. Let's see who that is. I don't know whether we've got... Might be down as another number on, I think. Yeah, we've got some tape over there. He might be under a different number. Not sure who that is. Billy Askew, though, leading away still at the minute. Looks like he, I was going to say looked like he gapped a little bit, but he hasn't. These two, Jake Walker's really on the move. These two are really putting the pressure on right now in the last laps of this race. They've done 4 laps. They've got 2 minutes to go plus a lap. Let's have a look at the times that time round. Who was quickest? Vail was quickest that time round, followed by Askew, then Jake Walker. They're just swapping. One's going quicker, next guy's going quicker. Obviously, they're all in the roost of each other. Billy Askew's got the best position for that right now. He's got a clear track ahead of him. But look, Josh Vail really forcing the issue. Gets the rollers dialed. He did it perfectly the lap before. Done it again, executed it fantastically. Inside line there. And they're going to go over to this scrub jump. Askew he just carried a little bit more speed round that corner. This is super close now. What a good race from the 85cc big wheel guys. Billy Askew responding instantly, though, in true championship form. And had a bit of, oh man, I think the back marker played into Jake Walker's hands there. So Walker round Vail, just as Vail was putting on super bit of heat onto the back of Billy Askew. This one's cooking up to be great. This is one of the best 85cc races that we've seen all year round. Jake Walker is pushing it now on that Matt Gardner KTM. He's on the move. He wants to get to the front. It was 1.8 seconds last time round. It's a little bit closer than that now. This would be a big win for Walker if he could do this. Josh Vail just seems to have lost the toe a little bit now, probably a little bit deflated, a bit angry with the back marker just getting in the way. Bit unfortunate. Bit of a tight part of the track where it happened. I think they were just in the same rut. Bit of a shame after all that effort that Josh Vail had put in on that lap. But the 99er Walker looking real good at the minute. Billy Askew is going to have an attack from a different rider very shortly. And he's not on a Husqvarna. It's going to be the Gas. The Gas is on the gas with Jake Walker right on the back of Askew. Askew's got pressure again. Can he hold this one off? The GRT Impact KTM rider holding a bit of a tight line, just riding a little bit defensively. All of these guys putting on a show here. This has got to be one of the best races of the weekend. Look at that, all three in one shot. They're taking the last lap board. Jake Walker, fastest lap of the race at 2:32.7, and he's right on the back of the 441 now. They're flat out across the start straight. Into the left-hander, back on the gas again. Who's going to get the roller section right? Billy Askew wasn't the best through there the last lap. We've got Walker's going a bit wider, took a wider line, carrying more pace into there. And again, look, Jake Walker, just gets held up by a back marker a little bit. Inside, though, that didn't work for Vail. Billy Askew's got a much better line at the end of the rollers there. I think he loses a bit of time going into them, but then gains it coming out of them. So Askew using his head, playing it smart. Real good bit of mature riding out of the 441. Billy Askew on that GRT Impact KTM. Jake Walker, though, he's there, and Vail's coming back at him. Josh Vail is having one last lap. Last lap dash. There we are. I found it in the end. He was 1.192 seconds back before. I think it's going to be closer than that again. These guys are pushing the limits. There, Vail. He's on the inside of Walker coming into that turn. Who's going to come out on top? I've lost them. We're on the last lap. I've lost the leaders. We'll pick them up here just as they come through the trees. This is the last lap. Who's going to get it? Here they are. Oh, it looks like...
Looks like Askew just ahead of Vail. You've been making it.
Yeah, Vail, I think Vail was on the inside of Richmond going through the sand rollers, and I don't know whether Vail might have just forced him out of the way. But Josh Vail's, God, he's not got much real estate left to get the job done now. Billy Askew over the step up. How good's this race been?
Oh, mate, I've been out there listening to you on comms.
I'm excited.
I'm
fired up.
You got me all fired up.
I need a Red Bull. No, I don't.
Watch it. Just literally going round, doing my duties out there, and I could hear you getting everybody like fired up about it. I think Josh Vail's still going to win the overall, though, with 2 seconds and 2 firsts, because remember, they takes the race win.
There we are.
But I think Billy Askew had a third, didn't he, in the first race today?
Yeah, congratulations, Billy Askew. That was a proper performance there, though, from the 441. Absolutely stellar. So good to see you just take that pressure all the way to the last lap. You've got to be proud of yourself. We're going to take this to an advert break. We'll see Jeff in the winner's circle with Billy Askew.
Okay, we're here with the final moto winner in the Syntol 85 of the year. The champion, check it out, gold bar pad, gold plate. Didn't quite get the overall done, Billy, this weekend, but what a great way to finish your 85 career. You just said to me, guys, that was a tough one.
Yeah, it's what racing is, just battling and having fun. I enjoyed every minute of that. Me, Jake and Josh just battling. I thought Jake was going to have me, and then he didn't, he disappeared, and then same with Josh. That was just what racing is.
I mean, you look good. So we spoke briefly about your plans for next year. Are you still working out what that is, or are you in a position to say you know what you're going to be doing?
No, we're still working out what we're doing next year. I'm definitely going the 250F, but we hadn't picked what team, maybe GRT at the moment. Yeah. It's probably going to be that.
Good stuff. Well, you've certainly done wonders for them. They've done wonders for you. Well done on the championship. Good work. Gold plate, the 2022 Syntol Big Wheel champion, Billy Askew.